Welcome back to the Call Out. When you hear that music, you know it's gonna go down. Calling out from wherever you are around the globe, whether you are listening on the go or you're listening in your living room. Either way, the Call Out's got your back with original MMA content. It's your boy Richie back with another radio show for today. What's up, guys? We're talking UFC 291. Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje for the BMF title in Salt Lake City, and the main card will be at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. Last weekend, we had UFC Fight Night London, and the main card did not start until 12 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, so it looks like we're back to having our fights later on in the day. Last weekend with the UFC Fight Night London, Tom Aspinall had TKO'd Marcin Tybura, and although I did say Tom Aspinall was going to win, I thought that he was going to win in the second round towards the end. I felt like Marcin Tybura was going to last the first round and then something was going to happen in the second. But Tom Aspinall just made quick work. He went in there. There was too much power behind those punches. Tybura, he just couldn't last. I thought he was going to be a lot more durable than that. But like I said, I just didn't think about those extra 30 pounds behind those punches. You know, Tom Aspinall, he's talented and he's gifted and he can use it really well. And that's really what matters. There's a lot of talented and gifted fighters in this game, but not a lot of them use it well. And Tom Aspinall, he knows how to use the gifts that he has. Yeah, that's it with that one. Sorry about the over 1.5 night hidden. I was pretty bummed out about that. But hey, Tom Aspinall, the heavy favorite, he took care of business. So we have to bounce back this weekend, guys. UFC 291. There's money to be made here. We just have to find it. I'm going to give you my brief prediction for each fight on this main card. I'm just going to give you what I honestly think. I'm not giving you any advice here, any financial advice, or I'm not telling you what to do. It's your life. You do what you want. But I'm going to give you what I think and who I think will win and kind of my brief thoughts. If you want my thoughts in more detail, I did a podcast with Rodrigo, and we did our predictions for UFC 291. That has already dropped. It dropped on Monday, earlier this week, so go and check it out. Okay, first fight. Let's get into it. Michael Chiesa and Kevin Holland. Even though Chiesa is the plus 125 favorite, you know, there's more juice on his name. And even though he's got some impressive submission skills that I think Kevin Holland might have issues with, I still feel like the reach advantage that Kevin Holland has over Michael Chiesa and the stand-up advantage that he has over Chiesa, I'm going to say the Trailblazer gets it done. This one is a weird one because of how Kevin Holland can fight. He's one of these guys that I think is so good, so talented, but he can kind of throw the fight away just by being, just being too much of an entertainer. So if he comes in here head focused, focus on the win, focus on getting Chiesa out of there, I think he can win this. It's scary because Chiesa is everything that I said Holland needs to be. Chiesa likes to win. He's going to grab your neck. He's not going to go in there just to entertain and have fun. He wants to win. You know, he's got a desk job right now. And people are always probably giving him a hard time. Like, oh, you're not a fighter anymore. You're just an analyst now. You're just behind the desk wearing a suit and tie. And even though that might not bother him, I still feel like these guys have a little bit to prove. You know, they want to prove that, hey, I can be an analyst and behind the desk, but I can also go in the octagon and kick your ass. So that's a weird one for me to bet on. I like Kevin Holland winning this one, but it's a close one because of how Chiesa fights, because of his style. He's smart. He knows what to do. He knows how to be aggressive. He knows how to set the pace. Kevin Holland has 5.5-inch reach over him. Chiesa knows that. He's probably not going to want to stand up with him. He's going to try and take him down and try and take that neck. That's really what he has to do. He's got to get that neck, rear naked choke. So if Chiesa wins, I say Chiesa by submission. If Holland wins, I say Holland by decision or by TKO. So those are going to be my picks for that one. Next one, Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. Bobby Green is looking good these days. He's winning fights. His boxing is improved a lot. Even though Green doesn't win against guys like Dober or Makachev, right, or Fiziev, he still has some nice wins over Lando Venata, El Iaquinta, who else? Nasrat Hakprost. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. So he's still got some good wins underneath his belt. I don't know about this one against Tony Ferguson. Bobby should win because, it's no secret that Tony Ferguson is a little bit wounded these days, and he's not quite the Tony Ferguson that he used to be, which is sad to say, man, because he was such a killer. But, I mean, he's on a fight losing streak. His last fight, he got submitted by Nate Diaz. Before that, he got knocked out by Michael Chandler. He lost to Dairouche, Oliveira, Gaethje. That's a fight losing streak, guys. Before that, I mean, he beat the brakes off of Cerrone. He beat up Pettis. He beat up Lee. I mean, this dude was such a killer, man. And then he met Gaethje. I think that fight was where it all went downhill because he just kind of rushed into that fight. It was in the pandemic, and Gaethje just rocked his world, and Tony didn't want to quit. He took way too much unnecessary damage. And then with the Oliveira fight, that was really scrappy. A lot of it was on the ground, though. Oliveira almost broke his arm so many times. But what my point is listen to the names. Gaethje, Oliveira, Beneil Dariush, Michael Chandler, Nate Diaz. I mean, he's losing to the best. And I don't think Bobby Green is on that level. This fight being, well, now it's plus 285 for Tony Ferguson, but it was 350 when we talked about it last week. And I don't think that this fight, I think they're disrespecting him a little bit. I know he's on a fight losing streak. I know he's wounded, all these things, but plus 285 for Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green? This just seems like it should be closer than what the odd books are making it, but it's okay. I like it. It might be a little bit of a trap. I don't know, but I'm taking it. Well, I mean, that's a lie. I already took it because last week when I talked to Rodrigo about it, I just threw it down right away. I knew the line was going to change, and it did change a little bit. I'm taking Tony Ferguson on this one just because I want to believe that he's still El Cucuy. I want to believe that he's still there and that he can beat Bobby Green. Bobby Green has great boxing, but that's kind of it. And he's tough, and he likes to entertain. But Ferguson, he's still got a lot of tools. He's still dangerous. It's more on his headspace and how he is in between the ears. How is he doing mentally? That's really what matters the most. If he can just let it flow, go in there, get in his groove, I think he can have a good night and he can win this by decision. So I'm going to take Tony Ferguson on this. Yeah, it's a close one. Yeah, it's a risky one. But I think they're just disrespecting him. And I'm going to take advantage of this heavy favorite. All right, next fight. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Michel Pereira. This is a tough one that I don't want to put money behind. If I had to say right away, I'm going to say Wonderboy because he's the more technical fighter. He knows how to go the distance. He knows how to win fights. What's interesting about Michel Pereira is that he's kind of wild. He's kind of unorthodox, kind of funky, but he's got power. He's got speed. He's very elusive. He's a capoeira specialist, but he also does taekwondo, which is crazy because Wonderboy Thompson is taekwondo. So it's taekwondo versus capoeira and taekwondo. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm a little worried for Thompson just because of the style of fight that Pereira likes to make the fights. At the same time, he's kind of like Holland, and I don't know how polished he is. He is very good, but I don't know how polished he is and how much improvements he's made because with all that talent, he still can kind of let fights just slip away, right? I mean, he beat the brakes off with Diego Sanchez and still lost the fight. So I don't want to keep bringing that up, but I don't think he's more clean than Stephen Wonderboy. And when you fight someone like this, they're going to make it a clean fight. Now, Michel Pereira can kind of sneak in there and probably knock out Wonderboy Thompson like how Pettis did last minute. That's why this fight is weird. That's why I don't want to put money behind it. But if I'm just doing a pick 'em, just names, I'm going Wonderboy Thompson. I say Wonderboy gets it done. All right, next fight. Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira. I always chuckle. Or take a deep breath with this one because this is going to be bonkers. Jan Blachowicz has got the secret to beat Alex Pereira. He's got the wrestling. He's got a good fight IQ. He's got Polish power. But Alex Pereira, he knows how to set up angles. He knows how to set up that left hook. He knows how to find ways to knock you out. And that's what's scary, that he's probably going to be expecting the takedown from Jan. And who knows? What if he does like a Yoel Romero versus Chris Weidman? What if he lands a perfect knee as Jan Blachowicz is going in for takedown and knocks him out? I mean, this is a tough one to put money on as well. If I had to pick one bet, I'd go with Jan because that's more of the safe bet. Just because of the style and the wrestling. And I just don't know if Alex Pereira is going to have an answer for that. It really depends, actually, how much Glover helped him out for this fight. Because not only did Glover beat Jan, but Glover just has really good wrestling. He knows how to smother. I think they should have been drilling that. Hopefully for Alex, they've been drilling that nonstop. Just the takedowns, getting up. It's going to be an interesting bout. The odds are very close. It's minus 120 for Jan, minus 110 for Pereira now. Pereira was a plus, but now it's more of a pick 'em. So all my bettors out there, this is going to be one hell of a card. I'm going to take Jan Blachowicz just because of the style. And even though Alex Pereira knows how to knock people out, they both got the same reach. I'm going to say Jan Blachowicz. I'm going to say that he shuts him down. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's one that I'm more than happy to give up just because it's so tricky. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on myself for that one. Okay, so main event, Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. Minus 145 favorite for Dustin, plus 125 for favorite for Justin Gaethje. Still, the reason why I say still is because in the prediction video, I told everyone, hey, you better get Justin while he's a plus. It's going to go down to a pick 'em. So you guys must have not had pressed that button on Justin Gaethje because I'm surprised that it's not a pick 'em. I think this is a very close fight. The sport book has Dustin Poirier winning. Most of the MMA community has Dustin Poirier winning. To be honest, I have Dustin Poirier winning, but it's just so close because Gaethje has improved a lot. And I wouldn't be too shocked if Justin Gaethje found a way to win this fight. I'm going to go Dustin, though, on this one. That just seems more safe. I just feel like he's got his number. And last time he fought Max Holloway, he beat him worse than he did in the first fight. So maybe the same thing happens here. Maybe he beats Justin Gaethje worse than he did in the first fight. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But my final picks, guys, we're going to go Dustin Poirier, Jan Blachowicz, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Tony Ferguson, and Kevin Holland. Those are my final picks. You have mine. I just need yours. Let us know in the comment section below, who do you have winning on the main card for UFC 291? All right, guys, as the music rolls on in here, I got to stop talking and I got to roll on out of here. Thank you guys for listening to another Radiocast. I love doing these. And right now we're at 461 subscribers, guys. Not a big jump from last week, but hey, we're getting there. So shout out to all you call-out fans out there. Thank you so much for all the support. We'll see you on the next Radiocast. As always, stay blessed, stay healthy. See you soon.